I'm Denise Johnson with Stamp Designs with Denise in Bedford, New Hampshire. Welcome to today's Facebook Live. Not really live. Unfortunately, I'm having some issues with my Achilles tendon, so I have to go for an x-ray this afternoon. But I wanted to get this video made and hopefully posted at my usual 1 p.m. time for Facebook, so that I could share some information with you. There's a lot going on. We're in the holiday season. Everything's in full swing. And Stampin' Up! Has said that if you would like delivery by Christmas, you really should order by December 9th, which is Wednesday. And they also announced over the weekend their big, huge retiring list from the mini August to December mini catalog. I have links in this video, also on my blog, that will give you the list by page number in this catalog and also alphabetical list. So if you're interested in the retiring items and getting them before they are gone, you can check out either one of those lists. Also, a large number of items are up to 50% off. All kinds of things are punches, some of the stamp sets, papers, designer series paper, all items from this catalog. So there are a few items that are carrying over. I haven't compiled that list yet, but I hope to get that on my blog as soon as I possibly can. But the retiring list is definitely there, so you're going to want to check that out. And the sales on some of the items are fantastic. Some of the dies are 50% off. I saw some of the designer series papers were somewhere between 20 to 40% off. Embellishments, a lot of those are also marked on clearance. So check it out. And if you're interested in anything, if there's anything that you didn't get from the catalog yet that you really want and it's discounted, you're going to want to buy it sooner rather than later, so that it doesn't get discontinued before the end of the sale period. And I believe it is while supplies last. So once they sell out, they will be gone. So this is everything. It's in an Excel file, but it's PDF, so you should be able to go through and look at it. This is the alphabetical list, but it is also by page number. I did 2 different files in there. If your family or friends are looking for a last minute gift for you, I do offer gift certificates that can be used with me. So you can have them reach out to me. I'm happy to get them a gift certificate for you if there's something that you would like and they are struggling to find the perfect gift for you. I think this is the perfect gift. Also, the January to June mini catalog and the Sale-A-Bration start on January 5th. If you have purchased from me in the past year, you receive these in the mail from me for free. And if you are not a current customer of mine and you would like to get these, please reach out to me and I can make arrangements to get them to you. And I think I had a whole bunch of list of announcements. Let me just go through my list to make sure that I got everything that I wanted to mention. Last week's winners of the raffles, if you comment or share my video, you go into a raffle drawing, and I have been sending out the cards that I make in my videos to those winners. So last week, Amy Rupp on Facebook is going to get each of these cards that I made last week. And then on YouTube, the winner of that was Kathy Bothwell. So I have Amy's address, so I will get those in the mail to Amy. Kathy, I do not have your address, so if you want to send me a private message, stampdesigns@comcast.net, and send me your address and I will put those in the mail to you. So let me get my camera turned around. We're going to get started. I have some great projects that I want to share with you, and I think you're going to enjoy them. Okay, I think I got you all straight now. So the paper pumpkin for December, if you subscribe by December 10th, is Berry Comforting. It contains enough supplies to create 12 comforting cards and coordinating envelopes. And then The Quite Curvy bundle is available, and the Curvy Christmas stamp set in the Designer Series paper, which is the Classic Christmas, is only available until the end of December. I'm going to make a card with that today, so we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to that. So let's get started. So the first card I'm making is going to be using these gold hoop embellishments. These are in the annual catalog, and I sort of overlooked them and then didn't get any, and then I started seeing some other cards that demonstrators were making using them and posting them, and I thought they looked like so much fun. So they come in a package of 10. As you can see, I've got only 2 left here. I've been going nuts making stuff with these. So let's get started. So this set was in last year's catalog, and I haven't done much with it this year, this holiday, but it's a great set. It actually is on the retiring list. So I'm going to tell you, the punches come in a pack together, and they are 50% off. And then this coordinating paper, the Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designer Series paper, is also 50% off starting tomorrow with the year-end closeout sale. So I wanted to let you know that. And I'm going to be using the stamp set, the punches, the Designer Series paper, and then I'm also going to be using one of the labels, the Sale-A-Bration label dies. And this also is on the retiring list, and these label dies are 50% off. So let's see what else. I have Night of Navy ink, Pretty Peacock ink, and the Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack. I'm using the Night of Navy one. And then I have the Stampin' Blends. I'm using the light soft suede on that. So let me get out my papers. I need my inks. The rest of the stuff I'm going to set aside. So for our papers, I have the hoop. I use that Sale-A-Bration label die, and I cut out a piece of the vellum cardstock. I have a piece of Very Vanilla scrap. This is that Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designer Series paper. It's 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of Very Vanilla that's 4 by 5 1/4. This will be our inside piece. And then our card base is 8.5 by 5 1/2, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So let's get this scored. And I'm going to attach the Designer Series paper right to the card front. Okay, and then we can set that aside. Now, I have my 2 ornament stamps, and I am going to stamp these. The larger one, the smaller one I'm going to do in the Night of Navy. And then the larger one I will do in the Pretty Peacock. And then I am also going to stamp my sentiment in the Night of Navy. This is just a Merry Christmas. So put that on that side. I didn't quite fill in all the way with ink, so let's do this again. Apply even pressure. There we go. And now, actually, while I have my inks out, I'm going to stamp the inside of my card. So this is just sort of a decorative filigree pattern, and I'm going to do that in this Night of Navy and do it at the top center and then the lower center. And then for the inside sentiment, I'm going to use both of these. It's Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly and Be Jolly This Season. So I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to sort of line that up and put it next to that, like that. I like this when they do this sort of mixed text. There's some printing and there's some script, and I think it's very pretty on the cards. Okay, I think all my stamping is done. So then we're going to take out our punches here. Punch that ornament out. Punch the second ornament. And then I am going to cut out this sentiment. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I have this, the reason I have the Stampin' Blend is because I wanted to color in, see this paper has sort of this copper foil on it. So I thought this soft suede was a good color to color in the top of the ornament with. Okay, now what I'm doing with the vellum is I wanted to sort of just mute the background a little bit because with the foil it's very shiny and stuff, and I wanted to be able to put my gold hoop on it, attach my ornaments like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use glue dots. And I'm just gonna sort of put them around the right side here, left side of this hoop. So we'll start with 3 and see if that holds it on. So maybe I need one more here as well. That's going to overlap a little bit, so I can actually put a little glue dot right there and hold one ornament to the other ornament. Like that. So see, then that holds those on there, and I'm going to put my little my sentiment right across like that. So we will need one there, and I'm going to put a mini glue dot on the far right side of that, and it will it's gonna You know what? I'm gonna wait and do that last so that it's straight. So what I want to do now is attach my hoop to my vellum. And now I've got a glue dot on there. Let me see. Do it on this plastic because then it won't stick to the paper. So I'm gonna go in and use more glue dots on the back of my hoop, right behind where the ornaments are, so you won't be able to see it when I attach it down to the vellum. And then there, now that's attached to our vellum. So then we're going to put this on the front of our card. When you use adhesive on vellum, though, you can see it through the front because of the opacity of the vellum. So we're going to just put tape on the back where the ornaments are going to cover it. And then attach that to our card base. And then when we attach our sentiment here, remember I put the little dimensional there, that will stick to our card base like that. And the last thing was the ribbon. So maybe I would say about 8 inches of ribbon. And we're going to tie this right at the top of our gold hoop. So the ribbon came from the Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack, which is in the annual catalog. It was a 3-pack. So there was also Coastal Cabana, and there might have been a gingham or something else with it, but there were three different ribbons. So I'm just using the Night of Navy one. So get that nice and tight, and then we'll just trim up our ends. And then what I like to do is stick a little glue dot behind the ribbon so that it stays in place, because otherwise it tends to roll around there on that gold hoop. So I'll just tuck that in behind like that. And then that keeps that in place. And now we can put the inside of our card in. Oh, and I should have grabbed an envelope too, because we should have done our decorating of our envelope while we were doing our stamping. So here I have a very vanilla envelope, and let's get our little decorative stamp back out, and we'll stay with the Night of Navy. And we'll just do this right here in the back of the flap. And there we go. So like I said, I've been playing with these hoops. So I want to share with you some of the other things that I made. It just makes a nice little addition, I think, and sparkle to your cards. I don't have any other gems or anything I've added to this. I just thought that with this designer series paper and the copper foil, it sparkled enough on its own. So this is an ornament actually that I made using those punches in the stamp set, and then the stitched star shapes dies. So I, stamped the ornaments and then put 3 of them together and folded them, and then put a base on them. So this is an ornament that I have that I thought was pretty cool using that stamp set. So this is another card I made. So this uses the 'Tis the Season designer series paper, which is 20% off starting tomorrow at the year-end closeout sale. And then I used the holly leaves are all cut out with the Sweetest Border dies, and that is 30% off starting tomorrow. The red and green foil paper is going to be carrying over till next year, but so you can see the gold hoop there, and then the sentiment is from the Sweetest Time stamp set, and I blocked off the top of the sentiment and just did the Christmas cheer on that. And then on the inside, I stamped the hollies and the berries and the message, bright and peaceful wishes to you this Christmas. So that's another card using that hoop. This card, I use the hoop, and then I have the moose punch, which is retiring. It's not marked down. It's a very popular item. The peaceful bows, beautiful bow dies. These are in the annual catalog, so they are not retiring yet. And then this is also that Celebration label die, and the plaid tidings designer series paper is where I got the paper from. And the sentiment is from the Merry Moose stamp set. And then that's the inside. And let's see, what else do I have here? I have this card. This uses the Toile designer Toile tidings. This is 30% off starting tomorrow. And I use the Cherish the Season stamp set and the dies, Sounds of the Season dies. And the Sounds of the Season dies are 20% off. The stamp set is not marked down. So I did some embossing here. Use the gold foil to cut out the ornaments. There's my gold hoop. There's the braided real red twine. And that's the inside using the stamp set. And then this very vanilla layer is the Stitched So Sweetly, which is in the annual catalog. And I think those are the cards I had. So let me just clean up a little bit, and then we will move on to our next project. But I really had a lot of fun with those gold hoops. I just think they make a nice little embellishment, and there's a lot of different things you could do with them. And those are in the annual catalog. They were part of the Forever Greenery suite of products. And like I said, they come 10 in a package. So lots of possibilities there. Okay, let's move on. So the holiday season is upon us, and this next project is going to be to make a card that is a gift card holder. So we're going to use Shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler, and Sahara Sand. And this is the exclusive product they came out with in November. It's just available in November, December, the Curvy Christmas and the Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. So I also have going to be using the Pine Tree Punch. Let me get my stamps out here. And we have, for our card base, it's 11 by 4 1/4. I scored it at 5 1/2. And then I scored it again at 1 1/4. So this folds over like this. This is where what's gonna hold your gift card. So I would use tear and tape to hold it closed, because you're going to be inserting a gift card in there. You want a strong adhesive. So it just come right in at the ends, as close to the edge as you can. The Seal Plus is also good. That is a very strong adhesive, or you could even use the Tombow liquid glue. I like the tear and tape. So fold that over, and then I have a credit card that is gone, used up, but so just to show you, that's the way it just slips right in there. So we'll make our card, but that's a great gift card holder. So now let's get our other supplies out. So this is some scrap paper. I cut 3 of the star patterns in the Cherry Cobbler Sahara Sand and the shaded spruce, and they are 1/4 inch wide. I have Whisper White that is 5 1/4 by 4, and then I also have a Whisper White that is 4 inches. And I have a piece of Cherry Cobbler that is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So let's get these set aside. We'll do our stamping. And then we'll get our card assembled. So this is going to be the front of the card. So I'm going to use this star stamp, and we'll start with our shaded spruce. And let's see, I'm gonna bring in my foam mat to give me a nice firm base. And I'm gonna stamp that like that. And so now I'm using this stamp 3 times in 3 different ink colors. So I'm gonna clean it between So the next color I'm going to use is the Sahara Sand. I'm going to try and line this up as best I can, and it's just going to go right underneath that one. And then my last color is the Cherry Cobbler. So let's clean this off. This is the simple chamois. It's just has water on it. I just rinse it out and store it in a stamp case, and then it's always ready when I need it. Okay, so then I'm just going to stamp this. There we go. And while I have this Cherry Cobbler out, I'm going to get my envelope. And we'll do a string of stars right across the back of our envelope here. There we go. Okay, now let's decorate the inside of our card. So, let's finish this first. I wanted to do this Sentiment, may your days be merry and bright. And we're going to do that in the shaded Spruce. So this is going to come right here underneath that. There we go. And now I'm going to do the inside of the card. So this is going to go inside here. I have ink on me. Hold on, let me clean this off before I get it all over. So this is going to go inside here, and then when we close it, this will be visible. So coming down the side here, I wanted to do the bow sort of in the middle. And then I made a mask for this so that I could stamp some of that greenery on either side of it and not cover the bow. So see, that's what I mean by masking. I stamped the bow and I cut it out with my scissors, and then I put it over this stamped bow here, and it protects it from being inked on when I stamp next to it. So that's that. And then I'm going to do a sentiment on the inside, and we're just going to say Merry Christmas. And now the inside of our card is all stamped. So let us attach this. And then this is the front, which will go there. So let us get our pieces of paper that we cut out on here first. So I'm going to use just a thin little layer of glue. And put that on the cherry cobbler layer. Then we'll do the Sahara sand. Okay, now I am going to punch out my pine tree. And we'll use some dimensionals to pop this guy up. Put him right there. I'm going to trim off these. Attach that. To here. And then this can go on our card base. And then this last little strip that I cut, I'm going to put on our the little flap for our gift card. So there you go. So now you have this nice little pocket for your gift card. And that's the front of our card. And so this was the Curvy Christmas stamp set in the Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. Here's our envelope. And I'm just going to share with you some of the other cards that I made with this set. So as I said, the Curvy Christmas and the Designer Series paper are exclusive only until the end of December. This is a card very similar that I had made, but then when I did this one, I wanted to do the gift card holder. So, and this uses the stitched star shapes dies. And then this is another card I made. I did gold embossing on the stars, and that stream of stars is gold embossed. And the gold twine is from the Forever Greenery Suite. This is another Christmas card I made using some of the stamp sets, the Greenery and the Designer Series paper. And here I stamped the bow, colored it in with the Stampin' Blends, and then fussy cut it. Here's another card I made. I did that Greenery, and I used the moose punch. Oh, he lost his little leg here. Have to fix that. So I stamped out the moose in the 3 different patterns of the Sahara sand. Here's another one using stitched star shapes and some of the dies, which are the curvy dies. And then, so the curvy dies and the quite curvy stamp set are going to be coming out in January, but you can get them as a bundle right now. It was a pre-release of an item from the new mini catalog. And so here are some cards that I made using that, the ivy and the die, the little bird. This paper is actually paper from the Hydrangea Hill suite that will be coming out in January. It's not available yet unless you're a demonstrator. And then this is one I made that is using in the stamp set, and then that die shape that cuts them out, the birds. And this is the stitched shapes die for the oval. And then I just stamped that ivy in the background. And the corners are done with the the trio detailed punch. And here's another one with that ivy. And then there's also this pattern that cuts out a stream of ivy. And I sort of put it together as a little puzzle and took out all the little leaves and glued them in. And then here's another one where I drew the vine myself and I put it on the brick wall embossing folder. And then using that gold hoop, I actually made an ornament with this stamp set and dies. And so that's that. So I actually sent these ornaments to all of the ladies that are part of my monthly stamp club for a small little Christmas. Thank you for their support during this past year. Our year has not been typical. So let me get these cleaned up and we will work on our last project. Okay, so our last project is going to be a treat holder. So we're going to start with a 6x6 piece of paper, and this is from that 'Tis the Season Designer Series paper that I showed earlier. And it is one of the items that's retiring and is on 20% off starting tomorrow. So we're gonna get this scored, folded, and put together, and then we'll do the decorations for the outside of it. So like I said, it's 6 by 6. I have my Simply Scored tool. You can do this on your paper trimmer and using the scoring blade that's on the paper trimmer. I like doing it this way because it's easier for me to see the score lines, and I'll show you why. So we're gonna start, and our first score is gonna be at 1 3/8. So with my Stampin' Score Simply Scored plate here, it has a little container up here, and then it comes with these markers. So I can put them, if I'm making multiples of this, I can put them right at the score lines that I want to do. So my first one is 1 3/8, and then I'm going to rotate this 1/4 of a turn clockwise, and I'm going to do 1 3/8 again, but I'm going to stop at my first score line. So I'm stopping right there. My next one is at 2 3/4, and this one I'm going to come all the way down. My next one is at 4 1/8, and I'm only doing it to the first score line. And then I want to do it at 5 1/2, and that's going all the way down. So I'll review that again. My first one, 1 3/8, scored, turn it 1/4 turn, 1 3/8, only to the first score line, 2 3/4, all the way down, 4 1/8, only to the first score line, and then 5 1/2, all the way down. And then we're done with that. And so I am going to fold it on my score lines because it makes it easier for me when I'm trimming to see it. And then the two that are only right to the first score line are right there. So this end piece is my connecting piece, so I'm going to take off this lower tab like that. So this is where my score line is. And then these I'm going to cut along the score line and sort of just wedge out a little bit. So when I say wedge out, that's what I mean. I'm making it a little wedge on each side of that score line. It just helps when you put it together for it to fold in nicer. And then our last one here. Okay, so that's what it looks like all cut, and I'm going to use my tear and tape again to adhere it together because I like the tear and tape. It's very strong adhesive, it's easy to use, and it doesn't make a big mess. So now, if I have scored this all correctly, I can just fold it on that one score line, and it will fold very nicely and fold completely in half like this. So there's my pocket. So now, fold one in, fold the other, fold this one in, and then on my very last one is the one I'm going to adhere. Again, I'll use my tear and tape. Put that right on the edge of that. And actually what I want to fold in both sides and then fold in the opposite one. And then this will fold right down and hold it, and it keeps it from opening, and it's all good. And then what I have is I think this is a 1/8 inch hole punch. Put a little hole there, and let's do our stamping now. So we're going to use the Snowflake Splendor ribbon. You can see it's got this nice sparkly sheen to it. This is on the clearance. The ribbon is actually 50% off starting tomorrow. I'm using our scallop tag topper. We're going to use the Little Treats stamp set. This is retiring, and the dies that go with it are also retiring. So I am going to, my Whisper White tag will be 2 1/4 by 2 inches. So slide this in, punch it out, and then I am using the Cherry Cobbler ink and the shaded spruce ink. So we'll do the Ho 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 Merry Christmas, and then we'll put our little Santa hat on here. And let me see, my ribbon's probably about 10 inches long. So if you end up scoring all the way up on both sides, you're just going to end up with a square box, which is fine. I think this shape is kind of cool and different, and I like the way then that it can close. So we're going to feed our ribbon through our hole. Attach our tag right down the front. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. I have treats to put inside. We need treats inside before we close it up. So I have these kisses, which I like, which are super cute. They're in the shape of little Santa hats. And then I also found these. I don't know if you've tried these yet. Kisses sugar cookie. They have little sugar cookie crumbles in them. They're really good. But so you can fit, I don't know, I mean, there's 4 in there now. You could probably fit 8 or 9 in there. It would hold some, let's see, probably some of those mini peanut butter cups. Probably any small chocolate that you like. M&Ms definitely fit in there. So feed our ribbon through our holes, put our tag on there, and then you just need to tie a bow, and you've got a really cute little treat box to give somebody. Right like that. Super cute and really fun. So let's see, here's another one I made using different designer series paper, still from that same 'Tis the Season designer series paper. Here's one I made with the Feels Like Frost designer series paper, and that is on going to be 50% off tomorrow. And this is also from that Little Treats. It's the little flower stamp, and the sentiment, especially for you, is also in this Little Treats stamp set. And this gorgeous grape ribbon is actually a new item coming out in January in our new catalog. So let me get all my projects out here, and all of the pictures, directions, measurements will be on my blog. So there will be a link for that. So please visit the blog. If you need any more information, please feel free to reach out to me. The PDF on all of the retiring items will be on my blog and also on this video. So be sure to check those out. If you have an order you need to place that you want by Christmas, December 9th is the deadline. If you want to give your friends and family my information, I am happy to provide gift certificates to anybody looking for one. And I think that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting, your likes, and for sharing. And remember, leave a little sparkle wherever you go.